Hey you guys, so welcome in. Alright, after I got home yesterday, I passed out. So we are doing the video today. Your Libra placements, how they gonna affect you, how this energy is gonna show up. So what we're basically gonna be doing for this video is my intention is to basically give a brief description of each placement that we will be talking about. And then after I give a brief description, I will give a brief interpretation. Because it is a lot of different placements I have to touch on, they may not be as long, because I want to be able to touch on everybody's. So, let's just tap right in, y'all. Excuse me. So, the placements that we will be discussing, and I'm going to double check, too, to make sure I didn't forget anybody after I list these ones. Let me, Spirit said, double check first, okay? And I'm excited about this video because wait till I tell y'all about one of my major placements. Let me see. Oh yeah, I think I did get everybody. Alright. Let me check YouTube and make sure that we good on YouTube too, huh? Alright. Okay, so first and foremost, you guys, I hope that you are doing amazing. We still have spots on the group ritual. Okay? The group ritual is going to be today.
Hey, family. What's up, y'all? So, we have 5 spots left on the group ritual. Go ahead and get y'all spots. It's still open. Happy full moon. You can get your spots by texting 770-666-2466, okay? We got 5 more spots. Y'all see I'm out with the kids right now, but later it's going to be that action. Get y'all spots.
All right, so before we get into the placements, we have 5 spots left on today's group ritual. Okay, so get your spots if you're interested. Now, the first placement we're going to go over is my placements. So, but first I wanted to talk about the 7th house. Okay, so the 7th house, when it comes to astrology, naturally rules over, is ruled by Libra, right? And we know the 7th house deals with relationships, partnerships. Let me pull up the actual chart. I'm going to give y'all a spin wheel that y'all can screenshot. Matter of fact, I think I got it in this phone. I probably could put it on the screen. Let me see. Here goes the spin wheel. Okay, perfect. Let me see if I can move myself out the way. There we go. All right, so the 7th house, you see, is about relationships, marriage, contracts, business, partnerships, equality, sharing, interpersonal style. We have a full moon in Libra, right? We're having a full moon in Libra today. And yes, go look so I can add yours too. So with a full moon, we know full moon is usually for culmination and releasal, but this is a full super moon, and Venus is also ruled by Libra. And we know Venus is retrograde, that retrograded for a month, ended today. All right, now Venus retrograde was very intense. For me personally, it really shaped and opened my mind to understand that. And y'all gonna understand why I speak about my mom and situation like that when y'all understand my placement, because I have a Chiron placement in Libra. We know our Chiron, well, let me not get too fast ahead. But y'all gonna understand me a little bit better when y'all understand my placement. And y'all gonna understand why I tell y'all, if you do list your placements, when you start understanding yourself by when I tell you, you're gonna be like, oh my God, that's why I'm like that? Is that why I'm like this? Okay, because you think everybody's like you until you figure out that no, that's your energy, it's your superpower, but you have to figure out how to heal it and integrate it, right? All right. So now that we got that out the way, I'm basically painting the scene. So if you think about, to put it into like basic terms, the block is hot in the spiritual world when it comes to Libra energy. And Libra energy is relationships, right? Marriage. A lot of people, even with Mercury retrograde, a lot of retrograde just went on. So a lot of people have fully reset what they believe in. Okay, and do you have any planets in Libra? But a lot of people look at see if you have any planets in Libra as well. And what house do you have Libra in? Because that's how you, the squares, the trines, things like that. But yeah, so the block is hot in the spiritual world because Venus retrograde, I ain't even gonna lie, even last night, it was just like emotional. I was like, damn. And then I recently got a reading from you, hey? And it just showed me, even just put in perspective of the energetic code that's going on within the collective. Okay? And what I mean by the energetic code that's going on within the collective, it is a divine healing going on. This is why a lot of masculines are stepping into their power and purpose. Okay? And, you know, it has a lot to do with the year, but it has a lot to do with that Venus energy as well, because a lot of people are realizing the way that they've been loved or the way that they've been loving or something to do with their relationships has been off, and it's been off for a very long time. So now a lot of people are searching for that completedness again, that wholeness, and they're searching for that true definition for them, right? I feel like Spirit really just said that very beautifully. I like that. So yeah, so keep this in mind. Now we had that going on for a month. Okay, this has been going on for a month where we're like, how do I want to be loved? What does it look like to me? Venus retrograde. Now we have a full moon on the last day of Venus retrograde. And this is telling us culmination, right? Releases. So a lot of us will be releasing a lot of things. And we're going to get into that as we go through the placements. It's going to be a long video. Okay, so it will be posted. But yeah, so let's get into it. So now that we kind of got the synopsis of the energy, what's going on, not only is it that, but we're also right now in Aries season. The I am, your Libra placements. So 7th house is ruled by Libra, but you have it in Taurus. So where do you have Libra energy in your chart? If you send it to me, I got another phone right here. Just send me your chart. I could look at your chart for you and I'll see it. But yeah, so we have this energy going on. And it's very important. I wanted to really do this video because I feel like, me personally, well, y'all gonna understand. So my placements in Libra are in my 12th house. I have a Libra stellium in my 12th house. And this placement puts me really close to my spirituality because I have this strong unconscious connection to the collective. But at the same time, my Chiron is there. So we're going to get into it, but I also have this, because I have this deep connectedness to the all, I have this unconnectedness to the superficial, the 3D for real, you know, and struggle with making relationships because of that aspect, right? Because I feel very deeply, but am not seen, right? Because, you know, Chiron is like, it's where our wound is, okay? So first and foremost, we're going to go ahead and jump into the Chiron placement, okay? CHIRON. RON, I believe. Let me go and pull up. And we're going to look at some things online. Beautiful rising. Hey, you guys. Ooh, okay. Yes. Do you have any planets in your 12th house? All right, so we talked about the 7th house, right? The Libra energy. Now, we're going to look into Chiron in Libra in the 12th house. So this is my placement, you guys. So you guys will be able to understand me a little bit better when we talk about this. Now, if you really want to understand a person for who they are, what they've been through, and not just in this life, but who they are and what they've been through in all their lives, you'll know by their Chiron and their true node, right? My true node is also in Libra, where our true node is the energy that we are going towards, and our south node is the energy that we are moving away from, because that's who we were in our past life, right? So if my true node is Libra, then that means that my south node is Aries, because they're the opposites, right? Always know, if you want to know, a lot of people ask me this question all the time. Okay, well, how do I know what my, because the chart only tells you your true node, I think. How do I know? Oh, okay, yes, we're going to talk about that. Yes, okay, so Saturn in the 12th house in Libra. Let me add that to the list. And y'all go feel free to look at y'all charts or send them to me in the DM. I got another phone, I can look at it. If you need help and you want me to look at your placement. Because I got time, okay? Mars, it's in your 12th, it's in Gemini or Libra? We just doing Libra. Because we got a Libra full moon. And the only reason why I'm just doing Libra is because it's a culmination. Like, wherever you have your Libra energy, which is going to be your 7th house, and wherever it is on your chart, Libra, that's going to be... Now, it isn't interesting that one person on a list... Let's go through the placements that we're going to go over. So we're going to go over Chiron. We're going to go over North Node. We're going to go over Mercury. We're going to go over Mars, Pluto, Lilith, Libra in the fourth house. And, you know, all those placements I said are Mars in Libra, right? And we're going to go to the house breakdown. We got Libra in the 4th house we're going to go over. Libra Sun, we're going to go over that. Libra also residing in the 7th house in its comfortability, right? And this Saturn we have now in Libra. Okay, so first and foremost, when it comes to the Chiron placement, like we said, what is the Chiron? So the Chiron is the wounded healer. Let's see what AI says. Because I've been using AI a lot lately, and it's very interesting. I don't know if y'all seen those posts about that guy. I think it's a guy that asked AI, where did black people originate or something? He has some really good questions. All right, so when we look into who Chiron is, it's a person, right? We know Greek mythology. It goes deep, right? This is why when it comes to natal charts, you need to know the background and study the story of the signs so you can get it. And then also correlate too, because we know the Greek ain't where it started at. So then you got to use your mental space to go a little bit further and see, okay, I take it and try to correlate it to Egypt as well. Kemet, we know that's where it started at, okay? Now, Chiron is a figure in Greek mythology who was a centaur, which is like a horseman. I'm going to show y'all a picture. Okay, so this was like what he looked like. Okay, for y'all, for y'all to look, to think and have that on your mind. Okay, here goes another one. All right, so he like a horseman. That's what he looked like. So his story is he was a great teacher, healer, and oracle. This is why wherever you have your Chiron, that is your gift. Wherever your Chiron is. Now, I am going to go through the placements. I'm not sure how I'm about to run my Patreon because of everything I had going on. I was going to do it on there, but I don't know. I'm just being guided by spirit. So it's going to be somewhere, right, where we go through every single placement. But one major placement that if you don't look at nothing, even if you don't look at the Libra, look where you have your Chiron placement, because that wound is your healing, okay? We're going to talk about his story, but the whole essence of his story is his wound became his healing, his purpose, his reason, all right? The Libra placements. When I asked y'all to post y'all Libra placements, we discussing where y'all have Libra for the Libra full moon. Okay. And here it says, in astrology, Chiron is known as the wounded healer and represents the areas of life where we experience the most pain and trauma, but also where we have the greatest potential for growth and healing. Your Chiron sign and house placement reveal where you're meant to heal and how you might do so. Chiron is a celestial body that is currently in the sign of Aries. And we also, especially if you have Chiron in Aries. But let's look at the story. I want y'all to know the background story real quick. Because I remember when I first got my chart read, I read his story, and it was very interesting. Okay, so the myth that comes along with him is one of the most fascinating you need to look into that Chiron in Taurus, because that's an interesting placement. And you may notice that, Taurus is ruled by Venus as well. So with that Chiron right there, sidebar really quick, y'all, really look into that, because that may mess with your you may have abundance blocks, like because of the Taurus Chiron, like you may feel guilty for your abundance, things like that. But yeah. Okay, so the myth of Chiron. One of the most fascinating myths about Chiron involves Hercules and Prometheus. While visiting the centaur, Heracles accidentally pricked Chiron with one of his arrows, poisoned with the blood of the Hydra. And the poison's virulence made the wound incurable. Despite Chiron's skill in healing, because he was a healer, and the centaur was doomed to eternity of agony. So his homeboys came over. They was like, oh, we kicking it. One of them accidentally hit him with an arrow, and he accidentally paralyzed. Like, what the So Chiron, like, damn, like, just imagine going through that. Like, what? Like, damn. Then it was an accident. Bro. So Chiron went to Zeus and offered to give up his immortality in exchange for the freedom of Prometheus. The king of the gods agreed. Prometheus was free, and Chiron's soul was placed among the stars, where he became the constellation Sagittarius. Okay, so with this, keep in mind too that the Sagittarius energy, Chiron, these are all things that, like, I'm very analytical, and you gotta be able to piece things together when it comes to your natal chart. So keep those things in the back of your mind when you look at your Chiron placement, right? Because you can also look at the Sagittarius aspect and correlate it and see how does it resonate for you. All right, this is why I recommend you guys get your natal chart readings. All right, so with that story, he basically took a higher calling, right? So Chiron and Libra, let's talk about it. Now, I found the perfect description to put it into words, but first I'm going to give you this description first, and then I'm going to read y'all this description. Anybody else that have Chiron and Libra in your 12th house, the way that somebody described it on Reddit was just amazing. I was reading it last night, and I was just like, wow. When Chiron is in Libra in a person's birth chart, it shows that their deepest wound is about feeling alone, incomplete, and separate. This placement shows a deep desire for a soulmate and a heightened awareness of imbalance in ourselves and the world. The search is for connection. Sorry, my client, I thought she texted me, it was an emergency. I thought it was emergency. And a heightened awareness of imbalancing ourselves and the world. The search is for connection, companionship, and contact with other people. We're always looking for balance, harmony, beauty, grace, and perfection. This search can lead to a fear of being alone, putting other people's needs ahead of our own, or staying in relationships even though we know deep down that is not right for us. Okay, so now when I look into this placement, for myself, we've been speaking about how I'm dealing with this situation with my family, staying in that environment due to me wanting the deep connection. Okay, because I want to explain a little bit, so bring it to the 3D so that y'all could match it to y'all life. So when I get to y'all placements, I'm gonna match it to your life in a way to see how it could play out, because I'm not living your life, but astro.com, go to astro.com and go to the search bar, but it's a lot of different sites, but I like astro.com. Go to the search bar and then type natal chart, and it's gonna ask you for your birth time. You need your birth time, the city that you was born in, and your birthday. Without your birth time, your rising sign, it's going to throw off your chart a little bit. You can still read it, though, but it's going to throw it off just a little bit. Now listen to this, y'all, because I just was like, every time I look at my chart, I always, like, even from the first time years ago, I was just like, wow, how do these people know me? No. All right, this search can lead to a fear of being alone, putting other people's needs ahead of their own. And I'm a Virgo, so I've always paid attention to that too. Like with my chakra, I have to force myself to not do too much for others, right? Or staying in relationships even though we know deep down that it is not the right path for us. You may bury yourself in relationships and give up your inner direction and calling so you can be with other people and get away from the hurts that come with this placement. As a way to feel better, you may also try to connect with other realms, such as nature, art, or spiritual beings. Now, that is very true for me as well, because I definitely go deep into connection with my spirits and like my art, my creativity. Sometimes I know I could close the world off even just for the sake of that connection, right? Just me being connected to my art, my spirituality, things like that is enough for me. But at the same time, it's like, that's really a wound, because you're supposed to be in connection with people. All right. But be aware of tendency to put on masks and live two lives, as well as the tendency to upset the balance of things around you when you're upset inside. This wound may come out as a tendency to be deeply affected by conflicts with other people, which is very true for me. Like, if something bothers me, I can't hold on to it. And I'm from New York originally. So naturally, when things bother me, I could not hold on to it. Now where I'm at, I've learned how to observe things. I've learned how to be quiet. I've learned how to let things play out. But in my younger days, like this placement, my mouth was crazy. And I could not even think before I spoke. And I could not, it was just like an energy of if I feel a way, you're going to know. And it's it was just intense for me as well. People with Chiron and Libra may also use this energy to create the harmony and wholeness they want through art, which I do. And when I paint and when I create art and sculptures and things like that, it makes me feel full, okay? A fullness that I could never feel with anybody, with anything else, But if these efforts become too much, you could lose energy, feel tired all the time, and get burnt out, which is very true too. For Chiron and Libra, the way to healing is to realize that every person we meet shows us parts of ourselves, which is our true soulmate. And this is so crazy because with this being in Libra, I've really been dealing with this lately too, of really looking at my, and I hate to say the word enemy, quote unquote, but looking at my enemies, and what I mean by that is the people that are opposing me in my environment, because we have to be real. We have to have a little bit of reality, right? And looking at the people that oppose me in my environment, and I pay attention to the fact that everything that shows up in my environment is an extension of myself. We don't see, we project. So these are all versions of myself that I'm learning how to love, right? So if you notice that you have a lot of things around you going on, chaos, you have to find the love, right? That's a higher vibration, and figure out the enlightenment in the situation and do what's healthy for you, right? What is going to put you in that loving energy? All right, this journey helps us see that we are already complete and perfect as we are, which I feel like I've just got that last year, the year before that, a little bit, but definitely with this retrograde. It wakes us up to the love that is built into the way life works. Connecting with all kinds of life on all levels and in all realms becomes a way to heal and break down barriers and boundaries. And like, that's why I love doing my business so much, because it's so much healing and medicine, right? You guys don't project negativity onto me because you're not really that close to be able to really see my whole, you just see what I show you. So I'm able to connect with you guys without the projection that could come from people that, Now let's look at it in the 12th house. When Chiron is in Libra, in the 12th house of a person's birth chart, it shows spiritual wounds, inner exploration, and karma, dharma, I like to say, right? And y'all know I don't believe in karma. So when you think about karma, you're thinking about more so of the energy returning to you, right? But that you're believing in. Because it's all about your belief. When I say we don't believe in karma, it's all about your belief system. If you believe you're going to be punished for something, you can be punished for something. If you believe that whatever you did may have been justified and you have reasoning, then where is the karma? Just because they said that you're going to have karma for sinning, you're going to, no. All right. So that's what I mean when I say I don't believe in karma, just to clarify that for everybody too. So when this comes up in the 12th house, this is from past life experiences showing up in this life, giving spiritual enlightenment to it. You feel me? All right. You may want a deep sense of spiritual connection and balance, and you may also feel like you're not connected to the divine or have inner conflicts. And at times in my unhealed nature, I definitely felt like all alone when I was like in a lower vibration, especially when I was a kid. Healing happens when you let yourself be alone for reflection and exploration of your inner world. Now, especially with the being alone, I grew up my family, we was always all together, I wanted space, right? And when I became into an adult, I was able to take that space as much as I wanted to. And that was something that was very healing, right? So if you have this placement, that's going to be good for you. A lot of time alone, reflecting, because your mind is in tune with so much. Like with this placement, if you had this placement, you're rewatching a video or whatever, you are in tune with multiple realities heavily. So you seeing things, you hearing things, so it's like you have to take time alone. Like if I don't take time alone, like yesterday, for example, yesterday I went to the Six Flags with the kids. For example, y'all know, I don't know if y'all know about some conspiracies about the roller coaster rides and all that type of stuff, but I believe in that shit. And I believe that a lot of weirdos be at parks and stuff like that. Like, people be weird as hell. So, cause like, it be adults there that be doing like nothing. Like, what are you doing? Why are you watching kids? Like, it be all type of shit. So, being around all that type of energy for somebody that would have a Chiron in the 12th house in Libra, that is too much. It is too many different energies, right, at that one time. So now it was like, okay, that reflection time, that time alone, that time away. All right, so if you have Chiron in Libra, specifically, especially in the 12th house, you need time alone. That social battery, you got to take time to recharge it. All right. And two, depending on how it's aspected, like for when I explain one of the other placements, it's kind of hard, right? And I'm going to tell you guys why. So let's get into it. The next placement, that was Chiron and Libra. We did 7th house. We did Chiron and Libra. Now we're going to do North Node in the 12th house in Libra. Oh, wait. I want to read y'all that thing. That's what it was that I'm missing. Hold on, y'all. Bear with me. Hold on. Where is it at? Did I screenshot it? Okay. Here it goes. And then we put it on this one. All right. So this is where we're going to end the Chiron and Libra in the 12th house on this description right here. This person described this very well. Okay. And very eloquent. I love how they use their words. They say I have the same placement in the sign and house. What I'm seeing so far is a wound in relationships, such as boundary, people pleasing, and decision making issues. The decision making seems to come with it. Since Libra is known for being on the fence and taking a while to make decisions sometimes. So be careful. If you do have a Libra stellium like me, we could be in and out. And people may look at that like, oh, it's flaky, or oh, it's this, or oh, you're fake. When really, you're not fake, you're not flaky, you're not none of that. You're just trying to figure out your options. And they projecting their own insecurities onto you. Anyway, I think there is an inherent relationship wound in wanting relationships to be perfect and having high expectations, but having to come to terms with reality and it never being the way we want it, and seeing where our own responsibilities lie that are blind spots causing us to suffer in relationships, which is why I said this thing I said about seeing yourself in others. If you could see yourself in others with displacement, you'll heal displacement. But if you play victim, you won't. You got to see yourself in other people to be able to live with displacement. All right? Or you're going to be playing victim. You're going to be in a victim mindset. All right. The 12th house manifests in the more spiritual realm because the 12th house is like the unseen, which for me has been a lot of mental health issues and feeling lonely and alone in general, no matter who is around me. And I really resonate with this person, like dead serious. Like, it's so crazy, like how this person just was so eloquent to put this into these words. And I love when I find people that have placements like me, because it's like, wow, how did you know? Okay. I feel like I can see others clearly, but they can't see me as clearly, as if there was a one-way mirror looking glass. I absorb people's energies and sometimes even wounds if I get close enough to them or spend enough time around them. And that's very true too, because I find myself holding people's wounds. Gotta let them go. Shake it off. When it comes to spirituality, 12th house creates a wounding with feeling supported by the universe, which now that I think about it in the context of relationships, I think that's been apparent in the way that relationships feel karmic and like they are always deep spiritual lessons. Now, what the karmic in this is, like, we know our karmic path is like the path that we must walk. When we speak about the karmic is what we've attracted, right? What we've attracted from a past life or whatever, right? To bring us lessons, wisdom, knowledge in this life. All right. Also with relationships hurting me a lot and causing me to force myself to see me as an individual. And that's definitely serious for me too, because I can get lost in relationships, lost in identities, or not even identities, but lost in roles that I play, right? Lost in my role as a mom, lost in my role as a girlfriend or a wife, girlfriend, mother, sister, practitioner, anything, you know. You can get lost in a role with this placement. So you have to always assert your individuality. And like, this is why a lot of people don't understand why I'm very much like especially like people that's in my close environment, I'm very independent, very assertive with what I have to do in my individual aspect, because if I'm not, I will fall into this energy, right? So a lot of times people, this is a sidebar, but a lot of times people, and this is what you'll learn too when you look at your chart, right? About ourselves, when you look at yourself. A lot of times people will judge you for things, but it'd be like, you don't even know why that person is like that. Your judgment is your projection. Why do you even see that? Right? Like, you notice that a lot of men, how they see so many, or they think so perverted, like, why are you thinking that? Nobody was thinking about that. Why are you thinking somebody's thinking like that? Because you have that nature within you. People don't realize that, like, when they start saying crazy stuff out their head, and they be like, especially men, like, when they say certain things, like, now I'm looking at you funny, because why is you saying that? Like, I remember I was dating this guy one time, and he just always be like, always comment on certain stuff, like, about my kid and shit, like, why do you give a fuck? Why are you? Because you're a weirdo. Because you're weird, okay? All right, so, I've been very cautious about getting close to people or letting them fully into my life, but there is a deep longing for authentic connection. If it comes from a past life matter, I feel like it was from a betrayal or hurt caused by someone close to us that we are more paranoid in this life. Now, I could attest to this because I had a vision when I did a past life regression session on myself about me. And I spoke about this on YouTube multiple times about me killing my mother. Now, when you do a past life regression session, you're basically going into a hypnosis state. So I put myself under a hypnosis state to be able to go back to heal what may have needed to be healed. And always remember that when you do these type of things, a lot of people be so scared, but it's like, you're not going to go nowhere where you're not ready to go. Just like shrooms. You're not going to go nowhere where you're not ready to go. You know, your higher self knows. You just being scary, right? So when I did that session though, my mother was there, but it was her energy. And she was my husband. And I was a lady, I don't remember. I don't even think we were black. I don't even remember. But we were old. And it was like, it looked like the Temptation movie. So it had to be like 1970s or some shit, or 1960s. I don't know. But maybe even later, like a little bit sooner than that. And I remember in the vision, the past life regression session, we were going at it, and I was telling our family was coming over for some type of gathering, and I was telling our family, like, I can't take this no more. I can't do this. I can't be in this relationship. And I was just so confused because I'm picking up on my mom's energy as my husband. I don't know who I am, because when I do past life regression session, I don't look at faces. They say you shouldn't either, but I can't even see faces. Like, I literally tried to look at faces because I was like, I know they say don't look at it, but they also say that when you take shrooms, and I did it. So I was like, let me try to look at a face. I couldn't see no face. All I saw was hair. Like, the face part was just like, almost like skin, just like skin. I couldn't pick up on it. But I knew that she was a man. I was a woman. She was my husband. I was her wife. And I killed her in that life. And what I feel like that energy comes from is the now in this life, right? Because it's 12th house, hidden enemies. Things have to play out. Dharma, right? And we know if we think about the dharma, the karma, as if the energy's returning from what we attracted from a past life, it makes sense. You feel me? So, yeah, the pieces is hitting when you put the pieces together. So, for anybody who has this placement, you may have this, because, like, even me, like, I could be paranoid. Like, I ain't gonna lie. And I used to live a street lifestyle. I'm very on it. I don't play no type of games. Like, I know what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't miss nothing. I notice everything. So it could be a little bit of paranoia that come with this placement too. So you have to make sure you tone that down too. Okay. Now, enough on that placement. Let's look at the North Node in the 12th house. All right. North Node in 12th house in Libra. All right. All right. Now, we know that The North Node, like I told you guys, is where you're supposed to be going towards. The North Node is who you are to become in this life. Mine is Libra. So if my North Node is Libra, your South Node is going to be directly opposite on the scales, which is Aries. So keep that in mind, like, pause, right? Sidebar. We having a Libra full moon during Aries season, the opposite of Libra. Because people don't be putting two and two together, so we got to put two and two together real quick. Nothing's by mistake. Everything happened by design, right? And this is a super moon. Okay, so the energy is amplified. And you think about this is two opposite energies. And we just got out of a retrograde. People are about to be, this is more so of a releasing, but a releasing and an empowering, right? We know that Ogun energy, right? The Aries energy, I am. This is a releasing for power. This is a releasing for who I was, from who I was told to be to who I truly am. Okay? All right. So, let's look and see what description AI has of what the North Node is. It says in astrology, the North Node, also known as the ascending node or dragon's head. Keep in mind the dragon's head, dragon, right? We know dragon is like one of the most powerful magic. Okay, right? So if we get into our North Node energy, that's probably when we can align with our most strongest superpowers. I'll be saying a lot in this video, but it will be posted, so I want y'all to be able to rewatch and stuff because it's deep and I'm going to drop a lot of gems, so don't miss it because I'm saying them. All right, so this represents the direction of your soul's growth and destiny in this lifetime. This is where you should be working towards. If you don't know what you should be doing, where am I, what am I doing, where am I going, If anything, this is everything, right? Work towards this energy. So for me, I naturally have a warrior energy. Fight. I do. Like, as a child, I didn't take certain things. Like, I just didn't allow. I was not just one of them kids that you was going to sit there and just, oh, she going to take whatever I give her. No, I want this a certain way. I like this, like da-da-da. So now it's more of a moving into the Libra energy, right? North Node energy. So this is a direction of your soul's growth, destiny in this lifetime, where you're going. Wherever your true node is, your North Node, but it's going to say on the chart, true node. This is the direction of your soul's growth. So look up your true node, and whatever sign that is in, you should try to take that sign and be like that instead of ever trying to be like your sun sign. Like me personally, I always try to pull Libra energy. And I always, whenever I tap into my Libra energy, everything goes good. But when I tap into that Aries warrior flip shit energy, everything does not go good. Okay? It does not go good. Even though it's nothing. It's easy. It's easy to do that. Nothing goes well. But when I tap into my Libra energy, my soft energy, my feminine energy, and not necessarily soft, because a lot of people been discussing that. But it's more so of like that silent power energy. I feel like feminine energy is like a silent power. Nothing has to be said. Nothing has to be done. It's just the energy. Okay? So, no, that's your Chiron. Look up your true node. Your North Node, your true node. Look up your true node. What's your true node? Send me your chart. I got my other phone. I can look at it. It suggests that the qualities you are meant to cultivate. It suggests the qualities you are meant to cultivate. Well, I couldn't say it right. And the path you are meant to take for your greatest fulfillment. So, with this placement, if you have a North Node or a true node in Libra, for you to align with your fulfillment, let's talk about Libra energy again and what it looks like, okay? Libra energy, you'll see it a lot in justice, because a lot of people that work in justice, courts, lawyers, things like that, that was going to be my first career. I went to college to be a lawyer originally, and I realized I'm not going to have a life if I do this. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. Then I want 8 years? I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. Okay? So, Libra's all about fairness, balance, harmony. All right? It's an air sign ruled by Venus. Excuse me. And Libras are known for their charm, sociability, and love of beauty and aesthetics. And this definitely resonates with me because I used to do makeup. So that's beauty and aesthetics, right? Moving towards my North Node. Moving towards balance and harmony within the universe, which is why I do my path, right? What I tell y'all, why am I here? Because I'm here to raise the vibration of the collective, right? That is my intention of being here. And when I say here, planet Earth, right? In this existence. Because not even just Earth, but like, I feel like it's more than just Earth, you know? Just being in this existence at this time is to raise the vibration of the collective through my connection with spirit, right? And to bring balance. And sometimes balance does look like chaos, right? Because my balance right now that I'm bringing is the balance of spirituality, unorthodox practices, things like that. When we come from a society of people being more orthodox, wanting to follow behind others, things like that, right? So that's how you could paint that to your reality at this time. So if you do have this placement, Libra in Libra in your new, Can I say it? If you do have this placement with Libra in your North Node or True Node, you're probably definitely here to be a part of the new world order, right? Bringing the new balance, the new harmony for the new Earth, okay? Okay. I'll probably send you some stuff separately because I'm only doing the Libra placements in this video. But I got you though. Just remind me if I forget. A North Node in the 12th house suggests a journey towards spiritual growth, inner healing, and detachment from the material world. This placement often indicates a need to face and integrate personal fears, anxieties, and past traumas, leading to a deeper understanding of oneself and a greater connection to the collective consciousness. All right? So like I said before, in the past, I used to feel very disconnected. If you have this placement, as you heal your placement, over time, you will feel very connected to the spiritual realm. And my items, my things used to matter a lot to me. Like, I remember, and I always tell this story, like, and this is how I knew in this moment, like, when I talk about this story, like, it used to bother me so bad, but now I know, like, I don't give a fuck. Like, I just lost a whole bunch of stuff a minute ago, and I don't care. But I remember one time I got into it with the guy I was with. So I packed up all my shit. I'm in the car. I got all my stuff packed up in the car. I'm like, you know what? I'm leaving you. I got all my good shit in there. My Fendi, my Gucci, all my designer clothes and stuff. Shoes, Louboutins, like all my good stuff. I was so mad. So I pack up all my stuff. I'm leaving. Why I go to the mall? About to buy more stuff. And my car gets towed, and it was like a situation. I forget what happened. It was like the most craziest thing. Like, the car got towed, and then the tow guy got in a wreck, and then all this stuff. It was just so crazy. I was just like, what? And even just like recently, I had to leave a lot of stuff behind, and it's like that stuff used to really bother me. Like, I remember even just one time my family, like, I had like $5,000 worth of inventory. They all just threw it in the bag and just had it all fucked up. Crystal bowls, all type of shit. It's like 3 years ago. I was pissed. And then I thought about it like, that is one of the major battles for me in my life. Like, people always try to trigger me through my items. So with this placement, it's like, you have to detach from that material world shit. And you have to know, like, at the end of the day, it's like, it's a revolving door. You can constantly attract new. No, it's no limitation, right? So with this, be very conscious of the energy that it's no limitation to your abundance. It's no limitation to your material world that you can have. You can have it all, but you just may not, but you just must not hold the value of that. Hold it in your spiritual growth. Hold it in your inner healing, things like that, right? Now, the next placement we're going to do is Mercury in the 12th house. Let's look at Mercury in the 12th house in Libra. Why I keep yawning? All right, so Mercury in Libra in the 12th house suggests a strong inclination. First and foremost, Mercury. Let's think about what Mercury is, right? Virgo energy, Gemini energy. Mercury is ruled by, it's ruling over Gemini and Virgo. Mercury energy is also that mental, right? Mind, analyzing, going over things, also communication, right? And when we think about Gemini and Virgo, Gemini is like that communication through the collective. Virgo is that hermit, more of that communication to the inside, right? So as above, so below, as within, so without energy. You feel me? All right, now we put that with Libra, right? How do we communicate with the people around us on an energetic level on the outside, through our mouth and through our body gestures, through the communication that we don't even really notice, right? Like me, myself, and I've noticed too that, like, I pay attention and analyze myself to see, like, how I show up. And I know a lot of times I show up with my chin very high up. That could intimidate a lot of people. Certain things. So you have to pay attention to, when you're looking at your mercurial energy, how does it really show up, And with Libra, like, how do you show up in relationships when it comes to communicating? So, yeah. It says Mercury in Libra in the 12th house suggests a strong inclination towards communication and a desire for balance and harmony, but also potentially a tendency towards secretiveness and a preference for solitude. Now, that is very true, right? It says the 12th house associated with the subconscious, spirituality, and the hidden aspects of life may lead to a more introspective and reflective approach to communication. And that's very true with me. Before I say anything, I just heard that lyric by Future. Before I tell you a lie, I won't tell you nothing. All right, but before I say anything or do anything, I'm very, like, thought out. I don't really just do things, like, when it comes to people that are involved, you know what I mean? Like, actual human beings. Now, when it comes to just me, myself, and I may do things spur of the moment, very spontaneous, but when it is involving others, I really think about how it's going to affect them, how it's going to impact them. Is my words because I'm very sensitive myself. So I know certain things will trigger me, especially when I was unhealed. So I think about all those things. And with this energy here, you could definitely be a person who thinks about those things, takes time to really notice how you speak to others, right? Because you have this inner knowing of their subconscious is what it really is. You can tap into what their subconscious insecurities and like triggers are, right? Without really having the language, you can feel it. You know what I mean? This 12th house placement can also make you very deeply intellectual. All right. and it can foster a love for how can I ever say this word? Philosophical. I said it. Philosophical and esoteric learning. And when I tell y'all, if nothing warmed my soul more than getting knowledge and learning philosophies and esoteric knowledge and things like that, that's the thing that keeps me going. Okay, literally. Because if it wasn't for the occult, the esoteric realm, I wouldn't even be here right now. Okay, leading to a strong understanding of the world beyond the mundane. Okay, so if you have this placement, you probably have a very strong understanding about the spiritual aspect of things. You may even with this placement, you may have struggled in school. Like, I swear, like, I passed in school. I passed everything, you know. I never got left back in it like that. But I felt very disconnected. Like, I didn't feel like I was there. I didn't really catch on to a lot of this stuff. It really just didn't resonate with me. And I did a lot of cheating, too, because I was just like, I didn't get it. You know what I mean? Like, it was just boring. Like, what's the purpose type of energy? Then, with this energy, individuals with this placement may possess a heightened intuitive ability and a knack for understanding hidden meanings or communication from other realms. Mercury and Libra, particularly in the 12th house, can lead to a rich imagination and a desire for creative expression, potentially in areas of writing, art, or music. And I don't know if y'all know this, but I definitely write music and things like that too. I do art, but writing is definitely therapy, even just journaling. But I even do music to express my emotions. Now, I don't really release it, but I do it just to get it out of my system. Because if you don't, with this energy, you can't hold on to this. The hidden things have to be revealed with that 12th house. Anything in your 12th house, you have to look at it. Can't run from it. Can't hide. Because it's going to come up, and it's going to come up in a worse way if you don't. Okay? Now, this also, this 12th house placement can create a tendency towards shyness and secrecy, leading to difficulties in expressing oneself openly, which is very true. A lot of people don't believe this when I say this. They're like, no, you're not. How are you going to tell me I'm not shy? I am shy. And a lot of people with this placement, because it's a Libra placement, it may come off as like it's not that, but it is that. You know what I mean? They are shy. They really do. But some people take it as like, oh, why are you think you're better than me? Or because I've read into the projections and wondering why people think this and why they think that. Oh, red bird. Oh, he just climbed on the porch. But yeah, so, and it can also lead to a lot of feelings of being misunderstood, feeling like you need to over-explain yourself because people don't understand, and really just coming from people not understanding which is where it comes from. And also just feelings of isolation and frustration, all right? Now, the next placement that we're going to look at is Mars and Libra in the second house. Let's look at it. Now, the second house is if you want to look at your financial aspect, if you want to know why you're not making the money you want to make, if you want to know where are you supposed to be getting money from, or what are you supposed to value, things like that. Like, this is going to be in that second house. So your placements, if you have planets in the second house, if you have no planets in the second house, you want to look at that. You want to analyze that, especially if you are experiencing financial blocks. Second house is an area that you need to pay attention to, right? And remember, you guys, like I said, don't forget, you can get your natal chart readings. And when you get your natal chart readings, you can come with direct questions. Why am I suffering in my finances? Or where is this? Why do I have this lack here? Or I have this gain in my finances here. How can I take it to this level? Right? Get very direct, because a lot of times you don't get the answers you want. And not just with the readings and things like that, but like people don't get the answers they want in life because they don't really even know the questions that they want to ask. You feel me? All right, so let's look at this Mars energy. Now, I believe that the person that has the Mars placement, I think they have a stellium as well. And whenever you have a stellium in anything, know that the energy is going to be amplified, okay? I'm trying to see, like, I skipped something. Hold on. All right, y'all, hold on. Where was I at? And for that last placement, I don't know if I said it or not, but if you have that Mercury in the 12th house, you're going to easily and effortlessly be able to communicate with spirits. Like, I think I said that, but I'm not sure if I did. But for my people that had that placement, like, I really want to stress that aspect because as a child, like, I was like, what the hell is going on? All right. So, I'm about to do Mars in the 2nd house, and then I'm going to have to go and come back. Okay. So we're going to take a pause, but it's all going to be posted. And, yeah. So Mars in the 2nd house for a Libra, because this means that, they're a Libra ascendant, more than likely, can lead to a strong drive for financial success, potentially with a focus on fairness. Now, y'all, with these ones, I'm going to give you multiple ways it could play out, but it's not my placement, so I can't really say exactly how it's going to play out. But the first very few, I'm giving you real life examples because it's my real life. You feel me? All right, so Mars in the 2nd house for a Libra ascendant can lead to a strong drive. But this is one of my clients too, so I could kind of tell y'all my, observation. To a strong drive for financial success, potentially with a focus on fairness and harmony in financial dealings. You sound like you need to drink some tea. This placement can suggest a desire for both tangible wealth and an appreciation for beauty and quality in possessions. And I'm not even gonna lie, this girl, like, I feel like wherever people's Mars energy is, like, and this is where you should know too, background information sidebar real quick. A man's Mars is where, not a man's Mars. Dang, I hope I don't mess this up. Oh, yeah, that's what it is. I had to think about it. Okay, so where a woman, well, I don't want to say woman or man, but what a man is attracted to is a person's Mars energy. Okay, so, and a woman is attracted to, like, that, like, their Mars is the energy they're attracted to, if that makes sense. So if you was a masculine energy, you would be attracted to the Mars in someone, right? So I'm not a masculine energy. I have a full balance, right? But I have masculine energy within me. And when I look at this client, I could understand where, how this plays out because she's so, like with that Libra energy, with the Mars placement, it's just like a grace that she has, like, and it's very, like, put together, graceful, aesthetically pleasing, like, it's that type of vibe. So if you have this, you more than likely are super organized. You have, like, but you may not feel like you are, because, like, when I do her readings and things like that, like, she questions herself a lot, and that's the Libra energy. It's a Libra energy. She questions herself a lot. She weighs the scales a lot, but it's just like the energy is so beautiful that she has. But she questions it. So always know that, too, that wherever your Libra is, you more than likely are going to question it, but it's more than likely what other people see the beauty in you. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, she just really, like, in the way that she did, like, goes about her finances and handles her business, like, I really like it for her. Okay, so if you have that energy, then you may have that as well. With the Mars being in Libra in the second house, this placement can suggest a desire for both tangible wealth and an appreciation for beauty and quality and possession. So these are the people that's going to buy the art. They're going to put that art in their house because because Mars is also about, the reason why Mars is what men are attracted to in their chart is because Mars is about passion, action. Men are what? Action-oriented individuals. And I said I was going to stop saying men and women. So masculine energies are action-based individuals. So if it's coming for this person in Libra and it's in their second house, she may naturally just make money off the aesthetic of herself, of her beauty, right? In some type of way, shape, or form. And which she does, because I know a model with this placement, okay? This placement, oh yeah, we read that part. And you will also notice with this person too, like I said, they're going to buy the art. They may have like a very aesthetically pleasing way about themselves. Like when you're with them, they may make sure everything is like really aesthetic, you know? Everything's neat. It's just a piece that comes with it. This specific sign in which Mars resides in the second house can further influence its manifestation. For instance, a more competitive drive with Mars in Aries, or a focus on long-term security with Mars in Taurus. So that's just giving you like aspect. Like, and then my Mars is in Cancer. So with those, I can't give you a personal example, but for a personal example with Mars, is like, my Mars is in Cancer. Cancer is the moon, right? The deep, the hidden. So I'm very passionate about the deep, the hidden, but I'm also very, my passions have to correlate with my emotions because the moon is the feminine. It have to make me feel balanced within my feminine energy for me to be able to want to take action towards it, right? If that makes sense, to put the Mars energy in perspective. Now, with this energy, this placement might suggest a willingness to take risk in financial ventures, potentially leading to significant gains. With Mars in the second house in Libra, go gamble. Go gamble. But you may be a person that don't want to take a risk, right? You may be like questioning it, but you definitely should gamble. All right? And a healthy gamble, but you should gamble because you have a luck here. All right? Also, because you got to think about, too, where Libra comes, it's going to be some type of balance and fairness that's happening. All right? And you got to also look at what it's aspected with, because some people may have this, and then if they have the stellium, they're like, okay, well, I don't really see that energy. It's because a lot of times, depending on what's aspecting it, what other planets you have around it, like, say you have your Chiron next to it. Okay, well, it's not going to be that great. Because we're not say it's not gonna be that great, but it's not gonna play out exactly the way this will play out. You may have to learn a couple hard lessons before you start winning with gambling, or that type of energy. All right. This is also indicates a strong drive to earn a living and accumulate wealth. All right. So with this placement too, you want to make sure you balance that. Work-life balance is very important. All right. This might suggest a willingness to take risk in financial ventures, potentially leading to significant gains. I think we just said that. Did I say that one already? I don't know. I might need to say it again. All right. Their hardworking and diligent approach to earning a living. With this energy too, this person could be very much dedicated to going after their goals, going after the things that matter to them. But what I say to this energy here is to make sure that you're not overvaluing those goals, overvaluing those things that are going to make the aesthetic over connection, real, having fun. Like, don't beat yourself up about it if that's basically what I'm saying with this placement. And give it, like, fairness to yourself, right? But the biggest thing, too, with this placement that I'm getting is balance, work-life balance, if you have this placement. You have to find it, because you could be nitpicky, or you may over-examine a lot of things that you do, and you may be dragging it. You know what I'm saying? It's like you doing it in a big abusive way, okay? Now, the next placement. Oh, matter of fact, I gotta go and come back. Okay, so this is gonna be part 1. Let's see how long it is. 70 minutes. Oh my God. All right, so yeah, that's good that we ended it now, so I can go ahead and post this one, and then we'll go ahead and do the other one in about an hour or so. All right, so turn those post notifications on. If you did not comment your Libra sign, comment it. We still haven't finished, so you want to add yours to it, add it to it. And remember that this energy is something that is vibrating. It ain't going nowhere. We just had a Venus retrograde. Venus is ruled by Libra. Libra's ruled by Venus. We having a Libra full moon. So a lot of these aspects over this next, until we get to Libra season, about a couple months, pay attention. Pay attention to how these aspects play out. Because the fact that you're gaining awareness to it is going to bring healing, is which is going to bring elevation to it. All right. So just to give a quick recap, when we get back, we will, recap what we did. We did already. We talked about Libra, the energy in the collective. We talked about Libra in the 7th house. And we got the chart right here for you guys. We talked about Chiron and Libra in the 12th house. We talked about North Node in Libra in the 12th house. We talked about Mercury in Libra in the 12th house. And we talked about Mars in Libra in the 2nd house. When we come back, we're going to be talking about Pluto in the 2nd house in Libra, Lilith in Libra in the 2nd house. I may not do Lilith in the 2nd house. I may just do the Lilith in Libra description, because I'm going to do a description on all Liliths. I'm a Lilith Leo. We're going to go through all of those eventually, very soon. And we're going to discuss Libra Sun, Libra in the 7th house in its ruling house, and then Saturn in Libra. All right. So I love you guys, and I will see you guys later. It's probably going to be like, 2 hours, maybe a little less than that. But yeah, peace, you guys. I'm probably about to stop by the water and sit out there for a second and just vibe. Not me with the yawning. Oh my God. Bye, you guys. Love you.